Hello, people. This is FREQS episode 8. I have a special guest today, my first guest, Brian Kaczynski, who's invented the DACO.
DACO160 EVK. It's the DACO is really the heart of the system. It stands for Digital Audio Control Oscillator. So it's basically a universal audio to synth converter. You can convert any audio to CV to pitch and envelope to control analog synths and MIDI to control digital synths. And it has a synth output of its own, but I don't think we're going to show that today.
We can probably show that too. So first we want to demonstrate how it runs MIDI to Brian's Korg.
Okay, so yeah, this is, we are converting voice to MIDI to play the Korg. So I can turn it on and I can play it. And I can play it with my voice too. And so on.
Yeah, that's really great. I like how it can go into the really low register too, so you can make your voice really low, right?
So yeah, one thing you can do here is you can shift the pitch. So I'll show that. So that's 2 octaves down, and the pitch shift range goes from 2 octaves down to 1 octave to 2 octaves higher, and you can hit every semitone in between.
Okay, so I want to ask you, what was your idea to come up with this project?
So this kind of evolved from some work I was doing. I was living in Krakow, Poland 2 years ago and before, and working for a company, Sonic Smith, and we were making kind of standalone pedal-type synthesizers that we called audio-controlled synthesizers, and they were based on a chip, an analog chip that I designed that did this pitch tracking and there were some other analog synth functions like VCF and envelope follower. I moved to Miami 2 years ago and decided to really focus on just the pitch tracking part of the technology. And I discovered that I could make the same functions work with a microcontroller. So this doesn't have a custom chip anymore. It just has a microcontroller running some firmware. And it's using the internal analog to digital converter of the microcontroller on the audio. So it's basically just firmware, taking samples of the audio and converting it to MIDI and pitch in the digital domain now. So it's made it much more accessible to people, and I'm hoping to make another version of this which has an enclosure and it has all the controls kind of rearranged more ergonomically, because one thing about this is it's a prototype, and it's EVK. It stands for evaluation kit, so it's designed for musicians and for manufacturers to just understand how the technology works and to play with it, but it's not really meant to be a consumer device. But I'm working on that now.
Yeah, that should be really exciting. I love the sounds you can make with it. I've been playing a lot with patching in different things and testing out things. What should we do now?
So do you want to show how it works with the Eurorack stuff? Because that's like a much bigger topic. I mean, we can play different patches on the microKORG, but I think it's more fun to in your case, you have this big Eurorack, and I'm personally excited to see what it can do, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. So that's basically modulating the pitch of the voice with, is that an LFO? No, that's a sine wave. Personally, I like the sine wave best.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. So let's send it really fast through this filter to. Okay, and then a fast pulse.
I'm not completely sure what it's doing.
Well, me neither, but it's great. Sounds really cool. So I don't know. Should we try it through something else? Try to patch something else with it?
We can. Do you want to show how you can use this as a CV source to control a analog oscillator? We're back again. Here we've repatched everything so that we're gonna highlight really the Eurorack stuff, and my mic is just going dry to the mix, and Eden's is going into the audio to CV, and we're going to control stuff with CV. So right now she's controlling the Polyvox module, and we've got that going through a VCA.
The Bastel-Skis VCA.
Bastel-Skis VCA.
And it's the input.
Yeah, so
This is your output.
pitch out is modulating the pitch 1 volt per octave pitch input of the Polyvox, and the envelope out is modulating the VCA in of the VCA.
So this is just the Polyvox. That's just the Polyvox, and then modulating it like this.
Oh, that's the wrong mic. So you want to talk, say something?
Let's see.
That's kind of cool too. The sawtooth wave. Yeah. Now, did you want to patch something into the harmony input? Like it's kind of an FM input that shifts the pitch. That's also a pretty cool effect. If you like patch an LFO to that, for example.
Yeah, let's try this one again.
Okay. So see.
Did it do it?
I think so. Can you change the LFO rate? Is there? How does that work? Oh yeah, so you check that out. Let's see. There's what do we have there? LFO type. Is there a? Is that this switch? Oh, I like that. of this is almost like just chance. You just hit something that sounds good, and that's why I like Eurorack, although I don't have one myself. But I don't have room in my little home studio for this because I feel like it would just get out of control.
It's definitely fun to try out and experiment with all the things. It has a lot of surprises inside for something very experimental and weird. It does a lot of weird things, so it's really good. I think you should have something to play at home with.
Yeah, so I just have one. I have the Behringer Model D that I use to test that CV control stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm thinking that you need something like this to try out all the different possibilities and experiment with at home for sure.
What I really like about this is that you really feel like you're singing. Like with Eurorack, sometimes you patch something and everything sounds good, but then it's just droning or something, and you can get a sequencer or something to control it. But then either it's just droning or you've got a sequencer that's just going bum 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 bum, and it's really like electronic and perfect. But with the voice, what I like about it is it's doing, your voice isn't perfect, and it's doing this vibrato and this like a tremolo a little bit, and it makes the Eurorack sound really human to me, which is it's something that I think it's hard to do with just patching modules to each other.
You're right about that. You can hear the interaction really well.
Yeah. So you want to try another patch?
Yeah, I say we can.
Okay, so we have another patch here. Now we're controlling a, let's call it Eden's Secret Weapon Digital Oscillator. That's all I can say about it for now. Yeah, I've never heard anything like that. It's like, it does sound digital, but I can't really reverse engineer it in my head. Okay, that's like I guess more, looks like a sawtooth wave, but not really sure. Oh, if you patch to here again, then LFO. That's cool. Now we're modulating the CV with LFO here.
If you had your mic going through so you can hear both your normal voice and the oscillator at the same time, you could do it that way too, right? So, but it sounds, because you can't really recognize any of the words, which is good too. You can't really recognize any of the kind of vocal formants or anything.
Yeah, it's just tracking the pitch, so it's not really good for speech recognition. So it's like, if you want to use the voice to control just pitch and envelope, it works.
Something more on this.
So there's no modulation on the pitch anymore, I guess. It's
Let's see, one more thing here.
more complicated. It's just not having any effect. That's an oscillator, maybe. It has some kind of a sequencer controlling it, I guess, somehow.
This
FMBC. So now the voice is just controlling the envelope, and the sequencer is controlling the pitch, I think. All right. There you go. Okay, now we're controlling the pitch as well with voice. Yeah, it's kind of addictive.
Guys, is any kind of like if you can hear a word and it actually sounds like the word, but it does sound like talking. It sounds like a radio or something, like a radio on a bad channel, something you would hear.
Yeah, because if you match the pitch, basically pitch and envelope of the voice, it will still sound like a voice, even though it's some kind of crazy digital oscillator or any module or voice on the digital synth. I don't know. I don't understand you. I can only hear because I also hear what you're saying through the air, but if I just concentrate on the synth voice coming out, I can't understand it.
But if I answer the question for real, so I ask you it right now and then answer.
Okay. For dinner, I plan to have some fish and maybe salad. maybe do a little bit of traveling as much as I can. Go down to the Keys maybe a little bit. We have some work going on at the house. Yeah, so just hope that this hurricane doesn't come, or tropical storm are supposed to come this weekend. So yeah, so you know how they usually exaggerate, weather predictions, and hopefully everything will be fine, and we'll just see some rain and sun on and off like we usually do in the late summer here.
Thank you very much, Brian, for being my guest today and showing your DACO. And when is it going to be available for the public?
So hopefully within the next couple months, I'm hoping to release a version with an enclosure, and like I said, the controls more optimally spaced out. And I haven't come up with a name for that yet. Actually, I'm still thinking about what that will be called, because it has to be, it has to be labeled and things, and it'll have my company Second Sound will be on it, but I'm trying to think of a really catchy but descriptive name for it. So, and I'm open to suggestions on that.
Okay, well, thanks very much and enjoy your weekend. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Okay, see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.